Welcome to my live stream.
Oh, thanks a lot, dear. It's such a pleasure to having you on board. Such a pleasure. Thanks a lot for everything, for
Dr.
inviting me, for having me on board.
Dr.
It's such a great pleasure.
Dr. Muhammad Amer, let me ask you, please, could you tell us a little about yourself and experience as an interpreter?
Okay, wonderful. This is a nice question to start with. Thanks a lot for everything, and hello to all of you audience. So this is your brother, Muhammad Amer. You better call me Amer because I prefer this name so much. So I'm a professor of English linguistics and translation studies, interpreting studies as well. I work for the Egyptian Russian University as a lecturer for like 5 years now, and I'm also second to the credit our program at Cairo University teaching translation and interpreting studies. So I have an experience of more than 14 to 15 years. I'm not counting, but actually it looks like we're getting old because of this.
Wow, mashallah, tabarakallah.
Thanks a lot. I know I look young, but actually this is my experience, and I'm also a professional interpreter since 2013. So it's like 13 years now. A professional interpreter at international conferences, nationally, regionally, and internationally. A lot of things to say, but actually this is just me.
Mashallah, you're a highly experienced and lecturer. Mashallah, tabarakallah.
Thanks a lot. My pleasure.
You're specialized in interpreting, translation.
Translation and interpreting studies, exactly.
Yeah. Welcome.
Thanks a lot.
What are the different modes of interpreting?
Yeah, we have multiple types and modes of interpreting.
Briefly, doctor.
But actually, yeah, exactly. We have multiple types and modes, but actually we have three main modes and types of interpreting, starting with silent interpreting, moving to consecutive interpreting, and finally with simultaneous interpreting. So it's not a condition to start with silent interpretation, but actually if you moved quickly from silent to consecutive and ending with simultaneous interpreting, I think you finalized the tripartite or the triangle of conference interpreting. So silent, consecutive, and simultaneous, of course. And there is a wide difference between the three of them.
Which one is harder for you?
Which is this is a nice question. However, every single mode has its own difficulty, you know. And in consecutive interpreting, you mainly depend on your memory, your short-term memory, your notes. This is somehow difficult. In simultaneous interpreting, you depend on your stamina, your ability to go on. In silent interpretation, you depend mainly on your awareness and your acquaintance with the subject matter. So every single type and mode has its own difficulty. I don't prefer the word difficulty, by the way. I prefer to call it challenge. It's challenging every single time. So we have multiple challenges. But I prefer if we wanted to call a certain type of interpreting that's the most challenging. I think for me, it's consecutive more than simultaneous. A lot of people think that simultaneous is even more challenging than consecutive. But consecutive, if you have a weak short-term memory, if you're not able to retain your vocab quickly, if you're not able to remember a lot of words quickly, actually you are in a big trouble. However, in simultaneous interpreting, I believe it's way easier to be in the booth because actually it protects you. Another difficulty related to consecutive interpreting is mainly related with being in front of audience directly. This is one difficulty that a lot of people don't think about. So in simultaneous interpreting, you are in the booth. You are somehow protected because you're not confronting people. But actually, in consecutive interpreting, you are in the loop. You are in front of people. People are sitting before you, and they are all looking at you. So I think this is the most challenging thing about consecutive. And for me at least, it's the most challenging type of interpreting, of course, consecutive.
Consecutive, huh?
Yeah. For me at least, consecutive.
Yeah. I agree with you because a lot of interpreters say the same.
Yeah, exactly. It's all about your ability to publicly speak, whether you're speaking Arabic or English, doesn't matter. But public speaking skills, we're not good at this. So actually, you need to train yourself on not only linguistic skills, but also public speaking skills. Your ability to deal with pressure, tension, high pressure, a lot of situations, especially with somehow tense audience would make fun of your interpretation. They can even intervene in your interpretation, and we have a lot. Yeah, exactly. They do
Even
so.
taking notice is a challenge.
Yeah, it's always challenging if you're taking notes incorrectly, but actually we have multiple approaches to master note-taking skills, and if you did so, you'll master consecutive interpreting. But mainly your ability to remember, to recall alternatives, more than one word, one alternative doesn't is not enough at all. So you need to have like three or five or at least three or four alternative per every single word. This is the most challenging thing. It's in Iran, of course.
Thank you, doctor. But please, 1 minute. Let me read the comments, okay?
Yeah, sure.
1 minute. الحمد لله أحب الأخوة جميعا. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my live stream. Hello, Dr. Hisham. I am so happy to see you here with us.
Happier than you to be with you and with Dr. Amer. Very appreciative.
Thank you, Dr. Muhammad Amer. Yes.
Wonderful presentation.
إذا في إخواني، إذا في أي أحد يبغى ينضم، أنا أقول الكلام هذا بالعربي والإنجليزي كذلك. If you have any question, you can ask in Arabic and English. We don't mind. Okay. طيب, let me ask you a question, doctor.
Yeah, sure.
What exactly do you do as an interpreter?
Actually, it's a long story. So if you'd like to be an interpreter, actually,
Tell us what goes behind the scenes.
yeah, exactly. Number one, you need to have, especially in an interpreting profession, you need to have at least B2 level in both speaking and listening skills. This is number one condition which I always call for. Number two, you're always aware
Number
of.
one, what, doctor? I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
you need to be at least B2 level, upper intermediate in both speaking skills and listening skills. So actually this is very important because it would be a waste of time if you are way less than B2. It's actually
listening skill is very important.
Yeah, exactly, especially in interpreting,
Yeah, exactly.
So this is skill number one. Step number two, you need to be all aware of all the events around you. Doesn't matter where you live. We live in the Middle East, so you need to be aware of what happens in the Middle East because actually you'll be assigned to interpret out a lot and assorted and interpreting events. So actually today we have politics, tomorrow we have economics. 2 days later, you have medicine, pharmaceutical industries. You have a lot of things. So you need to have a lot of information and to be aware of everything around you. This is step number two. Step number three, you need to read in order to acquire a lot of vocab. Yeah, and when I say a lot, this means that you can't stop reading. A lot
Reading
of vocab
is a source of knowledge.
Exactly. Not only knowledge, but also to acquire vocab. And I'm not only talking about ordinary vocab. You need to have 3 to 4 alternative per every single word, because actually in circumstances like consecutive and simultaneous interpreting, you will forget. And I insist on it. I reiterate, you will forget because you are put under pressure. You'll forget. Even
Yeah,
if you
yeah.
know, yeah, exactly. Even if you know the meaning of the word, even if you know exactly what that word means, but you will forget. So what happens in here? You need to have one alternative, another alternative, a third alternative in order to make up for them. This is step number 3. Number 4, which is very important, you need to be all aware of the interpreting events like conferences, what happens in conferences, and you need to be all aware of all of your colleagues. That's why I always call on all other interpreters, all colleague interpreters, to be in one pool, like what happens in LinkedIn, on LinkedIn, or WhatsApp groups. You need to be a member of every single one of them, because actually we have a such a it's not wide pool of interpreting, so actually we need to know each other. So today I just knew Dr. Hisham, and tomorrow I'll know you, so actually we'll bring business to each other. So actually this is what we call business
You're right.
brings business. Business always brings business. So actually today you know Dr. Muhammad, tomorrow you're with Dr. Hisham, 2 days later you have another colleague to work with. So actually you need to have a lot of soft skills.
You're right, doctor. Let me get through
Yeah,
some comments here, please. I'm so sorry.
sure.
طيب واحد يقول معليش، واحد يقول اللي ما يعرف انجليزي الان كيف يفهم؟ ممكن تسأل.
We
يقول
are interpreters. We
يا
can interpret
اللي,
this.
اللي ما يعرف يسأل ويجاوب الدكتور.
So
Okay?
actually,
If
what
you
if the
have any
question is in
question in
Arabic?
Arabic or in
Yeah.
English, okay, Dr. MashaAllah will answer you.
Okay, wonderful. So actually, if the question in Arabic, the answer will be in Arabic as well, isn't it?
Okay.
Okay, wonderful. Whatever you want. I just want to answer those questions because they look eager to
He
questions.
never asked any question. But he says
Yeah, exactly. He's asking for interpretation.
that. Yeah. اللي بيسأل أنا أوصل الدكتور بإذن الله.
Thanks a lot.
بس لحظة
In
أنا
business,
ناخذ بعض ضيف معنا.
you have to pay for such service. if I'm interpreting this.
1 minute.
Okay.
Can I make a question now, Mr. Ayed? Or
Yeah.
do I have to wait?
Do you have any question, doctor?
Yes, please. Well,
Well,
first of all, I have a comment. I'd like to thank Dr. Amer for this brilliant presentation, which was very informative. Well, of course, we know that a professional interpreter who has a teaching background provides us with more valuable information. So,
could you speak up, Dr. Hisham?
yes, through you, I'd like to thank Dr. Amer for this very informative presentation as a practicing interpreter, as well as a university translation and interpreting studies teacher.
Thanks a lot. I'm flattered, Dr. Hisham.
I actually, it's well deserved. I followed with great interest your remarks about the importance of synonyms. From your experience, Dr. Amer,
Yeah.
in teaching translation and interpreting studies, what advice would you give to your students to enrich and activate their synonym assets in order to make use of them in practicing interpreting?
When we start, thanks a lot for the very brilliant question. When we start working on this, I gave certain assignments to my students.
يقول لا معليش.
Yeah, sure, sorry.
يسأل عن النصيحة اللي يديها
Yeah. Okay. Should I interpret the question?
Go ahead. I'm so sorry.
Thanks a lot. Never mind. Okay, so when I give assignments to my students, actually, I ask them to extract every single word that they are not aware of, or even they are hesitant about their meaning. But actually, the assignment here is not about just extracting words, but also to find one, two, three, four alternative for every single word. So actually, if we're discussing politics today, now we have war in the Middle East. Now we have certain issues and problems, but actually we need to have alternatives for those words. So I can give, and this is a very brilliant question. That's why I wanted to answer this. Just give them a short video, an intermediate level, maybe a beginner level. They can extract words, but actually don't ask them to interpret the video in the first class or even the second class, but ask them to make a list or a glossary of those words, and not to interpret them from English into Arabic or from Arabic into English, but always to bring synonyms and even antonyms. You know why? Because actually, if you didn't remember the synonym, you can know it out of the antonym itself. For example, I don't know the word short, for example, but I know that tall or high can be an antonym of it. So that's why we can guess the synonym. You can guess another word out of the antonym itself. So a glossary of antonyms, of synonyms in the essence, that's what start your session with. Session number one, session number two, and after that you can start putting your students in certain situations when they actually interpret this, whether consecutively or simultaneously. I hope this answered the question.
Thank you very much. Thank you. That was very informative. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot, Dr. Hisham. Thanks a lot. My pleasure.
Dr. Hisham,
Yes, Mr. Ayedh.
do you have any comment on what a doctor has said?
Well, that was a masterpiece from a teacher, from a university professor. Well, this is an excellent method, especially the method of making use of antonyms in order to reach a synonym that you ignore. As I learned this back in 1989 when I was doing my MA degree at the University of Heriot-Watt in Edinburgh. This was a golden rule given to us by our Professor Basil Hatim, an authority in the world of interpreting, translation, and text linguistics. So I'm glad to hear it today, after all these years, from a practicing interpreter and a university professor also. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot. I'm flattered.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Dr. Muhammad Amer,
Yeah.
how do you, معلش, how do you deal with slang or idioms that have no direct equivalent?
Whoa, that's embarrassing. Because every single time, I'm Egyptian, and in Egypt we have a lot of idioms. We have idioms every single day, and I'll answer this question using one example from my own business. I was interpreting a training for African journalists at the Egyptian television, and one speaker used,
There are a lot of slang idioms.
Yeah, an Egyptian accent. Yeah, a lot of them, and he kept
1 minute,
using a lot of idioms. I was in the booth, and he was just using a lot of Egyptian idioms, expressions. So you have two solutions. Number one, you are in the paradise, you are in the nirvana if you actually know the meaning of every single idiom that's been used in the event. But actually, this is not the case every single time. However, another solution would be explaining exactly what you got from that idiom or expression. One example is that it's not an Egyptian accent or Egyptian dialect.
If you don't get it,
Yeah, exactly. If you don't got it, I have one example, but it's not Egyptian. So actually, one example is that a speaker said, "من ذاق عرف ومن عرف اغترف ومن اغترف أدمن ما عرف." So actually, you can imagine yourself in a booth.
it's very challenging.
You can imagine this in a booth, and you have to do this immediately. So what happens in here is that you try out of the text, out of the context itself, to get the, maybe 70 to 80% of the meaning in order to deliver it. So actually, it's a long sentence in Arabic, but it can be shortened in English. So you can say, he who knows dives deep in the knowledge, or he who knows dives deep. So actually, this is just about how quick you are witted, and this is the skill that we didn't talk about, quick witting. Actually, this is very important, your ability to deal with such expressions and idioms pretty quickly. But this doesn't make us forget that you need to know a lot of expressions and idioms, especially in Arabic, and especially if you're dealing with an accent or a dialect that you don't know a lot of those speakers. And one example, it's not an idiom, it's not an expression, but actually it was difficult because of the accent, because of dialect. I don't know if you have any audience from Bahrain or not, but one speaker from Bahrain, and I'm Egyptian. I was interpreting after him, and he just said, if you have, I'll say it in Arabic. لو كان في مشكلة مع مريض دقله على العنبلوس. So actually, in Egyptian accent, دقله على العنبلوس. Even you're a Saudi citizen, you're a Gulf citizen, you don't know it. So you can imagine me in such a situation in Egypt, and I don't know what is ambaluz and what is the gillu. So I asked the man in the break,
How do you handle?
yeah, what do you mean? What do you mean by that? So he said,
How did you handle?
ambulance. So ambaluz, it's an ambulance. Ambulance turned into ambaluz. So actually, this means that you need to be aware of even the dialects of a lot of nationalities around you. If you're in Africa, you need a lot of dialects. If you're dealing with Asian people, Latin people, European people, so actually this is pretty difficult. And I'm talking to a Saudi man right now, but actually you're a Gulf citizen, but you don't know what Ambalus is. So you can imagine what happened to Ambalus. Yeah. Ambalus, it's a word that comes from ambulance. It's an Arabized word. And I asked him, how did you manage to say so?
ambulance مستر عايد امبيولانس عرفت سيارة الإسعاف
ambulance عرفت الإسعاف.
هي أنا عارف.
Yeah.
بس النطق مغيرينه.
Yeah, exactly. They changed in Arabic.
It's not English. The pronunciation is very different.
Yeah, exactly. And the man was speaking Arabic.
I heard Robus.
So you can put yourself in my shoes and you try to understand what happens, and you are in consecutive interpreting situation.
I didn't hear it very well.
Yeah, it's pretty difficult, and this is not even an idiom or expression. So you can imagine idioms, expressions, a lot of local words and expressions. We have a lot of those in Egypt, and you can imagine what happens in Gulf and Morocco and in Sudan. We have a lot of dialects and accents, so it's pretty difficult.
Sudanese, I think Sudanese people and Egyptian people.
Yeah.
I think their dialect is very, very simple. I can understand them.
May I make comments here?
Sure, دكتور هشام اتفضل يا ريت.
Do you have any comment, Doctor?
Yes, please. Well, it seems to you that Sudanese dialect and Egyptian dialect is easy or simple because you are exposed to Sudanese people and Egyptian people, especially Egyptians with their strong media. You see films and TV episodes. All over the Arab world, people tend to be able to understand Egyptian dialect because of this impact of their strong media, you see. But if you bring someone from Mauritania, for example, we had a colleague from Mauritania.
I'm so sorry. Sudanese people and Egyptian people live with us in Saudi Arabia.
Yes, that's why you get it.
يعني we used to listen to them.
Yes, but because you are exposed to them. But I'll give you one example. One day I was in the booth working with a colleague from yes, from I think he was from Senegal. He takes from Arabic into French, okay, and the speaker was the Egyptian. So the speaker said, actually, I'm sorry, he's from Nigeria. He was taken from Arabic into English. So the Egyptian speaker said, Ba'a. It's not very easy for me or you, because we are exposed to Egyptians, to understand the word Ba'a.
Yeah.
But for him, it was a very difficult word. He could not even guess the meaning, you know. So it's a matter of exposure. And this leads me to a proposal or an invitation that I'd like to address to Dr. Amer. You see, I believe one of the best solutions that can contribute, not so resolve, but contribute to resolving the problem of dialect, that an interpreter, a teaching professor like Dr. Amer may devote some of his precious time writing a glossary of frequently used Egyptian dialectal expressions. You see, any words that are used in Egyptian Arabic dialect could be brought under one glossary. Hisham can prepare the same for Sudanese dialect, and we can exchange these glossaries, which will alleviate the burden of the interpreter, who sometimes have to deal with people who use these dialectal expressions. I hope Dr. Amer would agree with me.
And I reiterate the importance of such glossary. If we compiled a file or a PDF document of those strange and weird words from one accent to
Give me a
another.
second, please.
Sure.
I'm so sorry.
Never mind.
برد على الأخوة. إخواني اللي عنده سؤال بالعربي بالإنجليزي، عندي هامتين بعضهم أفهم من اللغة، قامتين. الدكتور محمد عامر، دكتور هشام ما شاء الله تبارك الله ذو خبرة وذو باع طويل كالدكتور محمد عامر، فبإمكانك تسأل حنجاوبك بالعربي، هم يجاوبونك بالعربي، ولكن احنا اخترنا لقاء يكون باللغة الإنجليزية عشان الطلاب والطالبات اللي متخصصين ويريدون كذلك ممارسة اللغة. If you have any question in Arabic, in English, we don't mind. But please, drop your question in the chat, or you can request up. Okay, I don't mind. I'm so sorry again.
Right, I was just saying, I reiterate the idea given by Dr. Hisham concerning compiling a PDF file or a Word file or a Word document. We can compile a huge list of expressions that can be distinctive in Egyptian, Sudanese, Moroccan, Gulf, Shami, Levantine, or even Iraqi accent and dialect. Actually, this would be a very nice idea and a very successful project, because actually we are all neighbors and we can understand each other, but actually certain words, certain expressions can be somehow embarrassing. So let's combine this together.
Saudi Islam isn't difficult.
It's not that difficult, but it's not that difficult, no, not at all.
It's very simple.
It's like
It also depends on the region, yeah, Mr. Ayedh. It depends on the region. For example, for me, Saudi Arabic spoken in Hijaz region is not that difficult. But if I go to Riyadh and meet a Bedouin from Najd, then I will suffer. I know I will not understand almost anything from what he says.
Did you struggle with them?
Yes, but Bedouins from the Najd region. Oh,
Maybe when you came from Sudan,
No,
first.
no, even now, if I go to Riyadh now and and talk to them, no, I will not understand what they say. But let me give you a very funny example
Yeah.
of the difference of dialects. This story was narrated to me, and I will say it in Arabic because I heard it in Arabic. زميل موريتاني يقول لي إنه عندما كان في المدرسة الثانوية كان عنده أستاذ مصري،
نعم.
وهو كان يريد أن يستأذن من الأستاذ ليذهب للقاء ناظر المدرسة، مدير المدرسة.
نعم.
فقال للأستاذ لو سمحت أنا رايح أقيس الناظر، أقيس بالحسانية وهي الدارجة الموريتانية، أقيس معناها ألتقي أو يعني أقابل الناظر.
وقيس.
فالأستاذ أقيس، أيوة، من قياس، كلمة قياس العادية هذه هم عندهم هذا الاستعمال يعني. فالأستاذ المصري قالوا أنا ممكن أن أسمح لك أن تذهب للناظر، ولكن للقياس لابد أن يأذن لك هو بأن تقيسه.
مثلا عندما يقول لك دكتور، أنت الدكتور عامر. Let me give you an example.
Sure.
لو أقول لك رجيت القطيعة. How do you interpret it?
How do I understand it first?
اوكي. والله انا قبل ما اشوف الدكتور محمد عامر والدكتور هشام رجيت القطيعة.
You can guess, Dr. Hisham.
Can you interpret? Can you interpret?
المعنى في العربي انك you had to use contacts, so you had to pull strings.
How do you interpret it?
You have to pull strings. If the meaning is you had to use contacts, then in English you would say I had to pull strings.
رجيت القطيعة. يعني أنا قبل ما أقابلهم، يعني تخيل أقول مثلا أنا والله أني كنت في البر وذهب المال، والله عز وجل بعث لي أحد الإخوة وأعطاني المال، أني رجيت القطيعة. يعني إيش؟ إني يئست، طابني الياس.
I lost hope. This is very easy. إذا فهمت المعنى I lost hope.
Yeah. Did you get it? دكتور محمد.
Try to guess the meaning out of context. You need to have maybe a longer sentence.
Did you get it? What I said? If it was bought in a longer sentence or in a longer context, I can have some percentage to guess it, like 70 to 80%. You can guess.
I can guess, but not every single time. That would be a problem.
You're right, Doctor.
Sure.
Let me ask you, Doctor, how do you balance listening and speaking at the same time?
Actually, this is one skill that we call active listening. It's a third skill that we need to have. We have listening skills, we have speaking skills, but actually we have active listening skills. So actually, if you're listening
I'm
sure.
so sorry.
So never mind. So actually, if you're listening to a certain video or text in Arabic and you're going to give or to deliver the interpreting in English, so you need that skill, active listening. So actually, you're listening, you're processing, and after that, you're translating, and finally with the delivery. This actually necessitates and requires you to think in the target language, not in the source language. And this is a very important skill. So if I give you a sentence and that sentence was spoken in Arabic, please avoid thinking Arabic. Always think in the target language, in English, in French, in Portuguese, in Spanish, doesn't matter, but never think Arabic. You know why? Because actually the first language, the source language, is always heavier on the mind. So if I give you a sentence in Arabic, always think about interpretation in English or any other language. That's how you will start thinking about interpretation early, and this is what we call in interpretation, this is what we call décalage. It's a French word, or in English it's called lapse time, the time that we take in order to process what is being said and what I'm going to say. So it only takes 2 seconds, 3 seconds at most. But please don't think in the source language.
Let me summarize what have you said, please.
Sure.
Okay. Huh? يعني you have to think in English and in Arabic when while you're interpreting.
If the sentence, if the source language in Arabic, avoid thinking Arabic, always think English, and vice versa. If the source is English, don't think English, think Arabic, because actually this saves time in processing and translation and in delivery. So if the meeting started like giving a sentence like Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, أرحب بحضراتكم في اجتماع اليوم. So actually what happened here, if you kept thinking about Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, actually this doesn't work well. So actually you need to say, in the name of Allah, the most gracious, the ever merciful, peace be upon you, and welcome to today's meeting. What happens here? I didn't think of a single word in Arabic. I always think in the target language, in English. This takes certain time to master, but if you'd like to master this skill, I advise all of our audience and all trainees on interpreting to train themselves on shadowing, on parroting, on certain exercises, and also if you know tongue twisters. In Egypt, we have a lot of tongue twisters. You know, sentences like طبق طبقنا ضرب طبق طبقكم يضرب طبق طبقكم يضرب طبق طبقنا. So actually, a lot of letters that look similar, they sound similar, but this.
What do you say?
طبق طبقنا ضرب طبق طبقكم يقدر طبق طبقكم يضرب طبق طبقنا. This makes you think quicker, quicker, and even pronounce it quicker. It's difficult. Yeah, because I'm Egyptian, I can do it.
Dr. Rajab.
Yes.
What about you?
About me,
do you have any comment on this?
Well, I just wanted to
please, 1 minute, please. Don't go anywhere. Please stick around. إذا عندكم سؤال أو شيء بغيتوا بالإنجليزي وبغيتوا بالعربي لا يهمكم، أنا سأصبح مترجم من بينهم. اللي عنده شيء حياكم الله جميعا يسألني. يعني ما شاء الله تراهم معروفين وبارزين وناشطين في الترجمة الفورية، وهي فرصة لكم. إذا عندكم أي سؤال، الجميع طلبة يسألني. You can drop your question in the chat. You can request up. Okay, I don't mind. Am I right? تفضل دكتور هشام وآسف.
No problem.
الله يبارك فيك ابو مطهر.
Thank you for giving me the floor again. I'd like just to ask Dr. Amer to shed light on one training technique that looks to be underestimated by many trainers and maybe also many teachers. That is shadowing. Yes, please.
In certain trainings, we have a problem with understanding what shadowing is, because we have two approaches to practice shadowing. Approach number one is to boost your own listening skills. So actually, if we have a speaker in Arabic or in English or in any other language, you can just repeat what is being said immediately. Like we have a speaker like the president or the vice president or the prime minister or whatever the speaker is, you can just repeat what is being said directly after him, immediately after him. But this actually boosts your listening skills. But what about a certain training or a certain exercise that boosts your short-term memory? I have this plan that I prefer to call 3, 5, 7, 8. Oh, sorry, 3, 5, 7, and 10. So what happens in here is that you keep listening to a certain video for only 3 seconds, and then you pause. If it's on YouTube or on TikTok or whatever, you then pause after 3 seconds, and you repeat the same dialect, the same accent, even the same mistakes, same everything. You don't translate. You just keep listening and repeating. So you master the 3 seconds. You can move up to the 5 seconds. So listen to another video for 5 seconds, then pause. Same accent, same dialect, same mistakes, same everything. And if you master the 5, you can go for 7, and after that you can go for 10. But actually, this is if you want to boost your short-term memory skills. Actually, this benefits consecutive interpreters and simultaneous interpreters more than only parroting. Like we can parrot after President Sadat, Allah yarhamu, in Egypt. So actually, the man speaks Arabic very well. So I just say after the man Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. If he said Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, I can say Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. But no, I don't want that. I only want the man to keep speaking for 3, 5, 7, and even 10 seconds, and after pausing, I repeat what's being said. So we have two approaches. The second approach benefits consecutive and simultaneous interpreters even more than the first one.
Dr. Muhammad Amer,
Sure.
how do you keep up with the fast talker when they speak very, very, very fast?
This is the only case we are allowed to give what we call summary interpreting. So actually,
Come again, please.
yeah, this is the only occasion that we allow ourselves to give what we call synopsis or shortened or verbatim interpreting. So actually, in conventional interpreting, you are allowed to deliver 75 to 80% of the content. But when you deal with a just quick-paced speaker, you can give like from 60 up to 70%. So actually, give what you just understood out of the speaker. I have a lot of speakers who speak very, very, very fast, and they can do this in Arabic and in English. So actually, just give what you understood, give what you just nailed out of the context or the text itself, but don't drop meanings. The most important thing is that you need to differentiate between you need to deliver complete meaning but incomplete content. You can drop certain words, you can drop even some phrases that are not important or they are redundant. However, in every single time, whether the speaker is quick or slow, you need to deliver complete meaning, complete unit of meaning. So just give a synopsis. But actually, this doesn't happen every single time. And in consecutive interpreting, it's easier. You can ask the speaker to slow down, because actually you're in the room and he is in the room. You can ask him politely to do so. But in consecutive and simultaneous interpreting, you can't just get out of your booth and ask him to slow down. This doesn't happen, especially if that person is a president or a high-profile figure. You can do so. So my advice is to give a synopsis or a short interpretation of the whole sentence or the whole speech. Actually, this will help you. This is way better than just losing the meaning.
Okay. You analyze his speech. Is it enough?
Again, please.
If you analyze his speech, is it enough?
I think this is good. This is good. That this helps you to understand what's being said. If you give analysis of the most important details, I just want you to give me the correct numbers,
Because
details, and certain information. But you can shorten and give synopsis of the remaining text. So analyze, give a linguistic analysis of the process, the whole process of interpretation. You can just give analysis and then deliver the interpretation. This will help you, of course, but this takes years of experience to do so. I know a lot
because
of,
you
yeah, I know a lot
because you
of
focused
office interpreters.
on the message, the main
Yeah,
message.
yeah,
You
exactly.
have to convey the
Yeah,
main message.
exactly, the main message. And by the way, a little point that I want to reiterate is that those people came from home and they put their own headsets on their ears in order to understand, not to listen to every single word. So please rest assured that they understand your, you know, the difference between translation and interpreting. It's all about the word interpreting. It's not only translation. You are explaining, you are interpreting. أنت مفسر ولست مترجم فقط. So give analysis, give understanding, give meaning, not only word by
Yes,
word translation. You are not a translator anymore. You are an interpreter. You are asked to give analysis and to interpret. تفسير. It's not only ترجمة.
President Trump, okay, as
Yeah.
you know, he uh, he never understood that person. I think he's
Yeah.
from India.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
I do remember that video.
yeah,
Yeah.
even he speaks English, but Trump says I didn't understand.
Yeah.
Although he speaks,
No,
although he speaks English.
exactly. In
What?
Egypt,
Yeah.
in the Egyptian market,
Do you have any comment on this?
in the Egyptian market, you deal a lot with the, and I believe this. So this also applies to Gulf market of interpreting. We deal with a lot of Indians, and in Egypt we deal with a lot of African people, and they come from a francophone and anglophone and even arabophone countries. But if you dealt with some people coming from Kenya, and Kenya is an anglophone country. They speak English very well, but actually you don't understand. So in consecutive interpreting, you can ask them to repeat what they just said. But if you don't understand and you keep puzzling yourselves with this, actually you can give only analysis or even a shortened version of the interpretation. But this puts us in a very difficult situation. And I reiterate the importance of exposing yourself, exposing your ears to different accents and different dialects. And in shadowing practice, by the way, I don't want you to keep listening to American British accent alone. So actually, we watch a lot of American TV series and movies, and we listen to British music and we listen to British songs. But what about people from Africa, from Asia, from the Gulf, from Morocco, from Europe, from Latin America, from different places?
It's very challenging.
Yeah, the whole market is full of people from those places, and in only rare cases you deal with people from America and from Britain. So you need to deal with this a very difficult situation.
Yeah. Dr. Muhammad,
Sure.
how do you get ready for a session?
How do you what?
How do you get ready for a session?
Yeah, okay, this is a very nice question. So actually, let us imagine some a certain
If
situation.
you have
Like
if
you
you
are a
have no
recruiter.
idea about
Yeah,
it,
yeah. If you are a recruiter and you assign me as an interpreter to interpret a certain event or a meeting, and you didn't provide me with the necessary information, I can even know from the topic of the event itself. So you didn't give me agenda, you didn't give me a list of speakers, you didn't give me anything. But at
the main
least
point.
yeah, you'll give me the
Yeah,
topic,
you have
the
to ask.
title, the title
You have
itself.
to.
Yeah.
You have to ask them to give you the main point.
Yeah, the main point, it's not only about the agenda, but also a list of speakers, a list of their titles, their designations, their everything. But if you didn't provide me with such information, I can even guess the topic from the title itself. The title says, for example, biodiversity in the Mediterranean Sea. So actually, it's biodiversity, and we're talking about biology. You didn't provide me with the agenda, but I already know the topic out of the title. So step number one, prepare a glossary, and please have a lot of folders. I want you to create folders of glossaries of science, biology, maybe different sciences and different specialties, specializations, and even before the event, you can refer back to those glossaries and remind yourselves and refresh your mind of the words used in such specializations.
You have to read a lot about it.
Yeah, even the event is tomorrow. Even if the event is tomorrow, I'll keep the night. I'll keep the night learning and trying to understand, trying to remember every single word about that topic.
Yeah, but you read
Yeah.
before the meeting about 2 weeks, 1 week. Is it
Yeah.
enough?
Okay. Step number one is to look for the agenda of the event. If you got the agenda, you'll get like more than 50% of the round, because actually you have a list of speakers and you can guess and you can know their nationalities and you can train your ears on the accents and dialects they use. Number two, titles and topics of every single session in that event. This is pretty important. The location itself, actually, if that event will be held in Saudi Arabia or in the Emirates, actually you can guess the nationalities even of the audience themselves. You can guess so. A lot of information you can also extract from the agenda, like how to pronounce names, because actually this is very embarrassing, especially when you deal with people from Russia, from Africa, from certain Asian countries. You don't know even whether this person is a man or a woman, because the name doesn't say so. So even how to pronounce the name will be clarified through the agenda. So agenda is number one. After the agenda, you can politely ask for a transcript, and some people may be puzzled because actually, will you give me a transcript? Yeah, not every single time, but you are allowed to ask for. If they got the transcript, you can go for it. And if not, and this, by the way, this is the majority of the event, you will never get the transcript. But if you got it, okay, you nailed it. If you didn't, actually, you can just look for the speakers. You can look for their videos on YouTube, on TikTok, on different social media platforms, and you can just train your ears on their accents and dialects.
Yeah, you're right. Dr. Hisham, do you have?
Yes, just a small contribution in this regard.
Sure, يا ريت.
Yes. Well, I'm sure you are aware of it, Dr. Amer, but we can, in these days, use AI as a great tool. If you go to any of the AI search engines and you tell them that I have a meeting or a symposia or a conference on biodiversity in the Mediterranean, what should I expect the topics will be, or what should I expect that this speaker or that speaker would say? You will be amazed by the very rich volume of information that you will get from ChatGPT or Claude or Gemini. This is a very useful and very quick reference. In case you do not have the materials from the organizers, you can resort to this option. I've tried it and it proved to be wonderful.
1 minute, please. Dr. Amer,
Sure.
can you give me please a second? الأخ اللي يقول ترجم لنا. إذا عندك سؤال اسأله بالعربي. هيجاوبونهم يقرون التعليقات. يقرون التعليقات ها. You can see the comment. Can you see the comment, Dr. Muhammad Amer?
Yeah, but I can see it. You can. Yeah.
If you have and أنا أتكلم الجمهور. Guys, if you have any question, you can write in English, in Arabic. We don't mind. Ask them directly.
That's right.
Go ahead, Dr. Muhammad Amer, to answer Professor Jean.
It looks like they are going to replace us. They will take our positions. They will take our places. But actually, you just triggered a very important point. Actually, we can use AI for our benefit. You just suggested a certain tool like the Gemini or Cloud or ChatGPT or whatever. That doesn't matter. But actually, this will help you as an interpreter or as a translator to be a better version of you. So actually, you don't have to be afraid of AI. It will never replace you if you are using AI the right way. But actually, if you depend on AI to play your role as an interpreter or as a translator, please, I'll tell you, it will replace you. It will take your job. But using it as an aiding tool, as an assisting tool, this will help. I believe Dr. Hisham will accept this.
Do you have any question, Dr. Hisham?
أنا بس حبيت أترجم للأخ اللي طلب ترجمة سؤالي.
اللي هو أنا لا استخدام.
هو انه يعني من بين المصادر التي يمكن ان نستقي منها معلومات ونحن نستعد لاي فعاليه في باعتبارنا مترجمين فوريين. طبعا الدكتور عامر يعني اتحفنا ببعض الطرق التي نعد بها للاجتماعات، لكن انا قلت ان هنالك وسيله ممتازه جدا وهي استخدام الذكاء الاصطناعي للحصول على المعلومات التي يمكن ان تساعدنا في الاستعداد للاجتماع. نعم، في حاله عدم توفير المنظم المعلومات والمواد المطلوبة للمترجم لكي يستعيد ويعد المسارد glossaries، فإن بيسعى المترجم الذهاب إلى أحد مواقع الذكاء الاصطناعي ويقدم لهم معلومة عامة عن المؤتمر الذي سيعمل فيه مترجما فوريا، وقد يذكر أسماء المتحدثين وقد يذكر حتى جدول أعمال المؤتمر، ويقول ويطلب من موقع الذكاء الاصطناعي سواء كان شات جي بي تي أو غيره أن يتوقع له ما يمكن أن يذكره المتحدثون أو المواضيع التي يمكن أن يتطرق لها المتحدث والصعوبات التي يمكن أن يواجهها المترجم الفوري، خاصة إذا ذكر جنسيات بعض المتحدثين قد يشير إلى صعوبات في الأكسنت في النطق. الذكاء الاصطناعي يمكن أن يكون أداة ممتازة جدا تساعد، أنا أقول تساعد المترجم الفوري كما قال الدكتور عامر، وليس تحل محله. إذن يقوم موقع الذكاء الاصطناعي بإعطائي كم هائل من المعلومات. نعم، يعطيني كم هائل من المعلومات، أنا أختار منها ما أتوقع أنه يساعدني في أدائي، وأنا جربت هذا وقد وجدت أنه مفيد جدا جدا، مفيد جدا جدا في الاستعداد للاجتماعات.
Dr. Hisham.
نعم.
I think you can't I think you can't use it while you're interpreting at the same time.
Dr. Ayedh, Mr. Ayedh, you are already in great stress. You need to concentrate on interpreting. You need no distraction at all. If you are going to use a mobile or a computer while you are interpreting, then you are lost.
You're right.
This preparation takes place before the meeting.
البعض يا دكتور عشان يقول ترجم لنا الأخ، البعض يظن أن المترجم الفوري، أنا أقول أن من الصعب ينظر إلى بعض في الأمم المتحدة يعرضون الكلام، وأنا اطلعت عليه، يعرضون الكلام اللي ينطق المتحدث، ولكن ما هو على كل حال أنه يكتب صح. أحيانا من الصعب عليك تسمع وتقرأ وتترجم بنفس الوقت، 3 مهام very challenging، صعبة.
لا، هو خليني أوضح شيء يا أستاذ عايد. هو ما يعرض على الشاشات في الأمم المتحدة هو غالبا في كثير من الأحيان يمكن أن يكون النص الأصلي الذي قدمه المتحدث. هذا في هذه الحالة إذا أنا عندي خيارين، إما أن أترجم ترجمة فورية آنية بالاعتماد على السماع،
نعم،
أو إذا مثلا كان المتحدث صعب الأكسنت، صعب اللكنة، يمكنني أن أمارس النوع الآخر من الترجمة الفورية وهو السايد ترانسليشن. أقرأ النص أترجمه مباشرة، النص معروض أمامي بالإنجليزية وأنا أقرأه بالعربية. هذا نوع من أنواع الترجمة الفورية أيضا.
حياك الله. والله هذه هي النقطة التي كنت سأود أن أثيرها. If you allow me to speak in Arabic or English doesn't matter, but for the benefit of the people، يعني أنا عايز برضو أساعد الإخوة الحضور إن هم يعني يتفاعلوا معنا أكثر. لو تسمح لي أستاذ عايد، النقطة اللي
as you like, you can explain it.
Thanks a lot. النقطة التي أثارها دكتور هشام في آخر الثواني رائعة للغاية، وهي أن يتحول المترجم من فقط مترجم فوري إلى مترجم فوري ومترجم للترجمة المنظورة، أو يستخدم أسلوب الترجمة المنظورة، لأنه باستخدام الذكاء الاصطناعي أصبحت هناك إمكانية وأصبحت متاحة الآن عن طريق أبليكيشن أو تطبيق زي زوم أو أبليكيشنز أخرى، تطبيقات أخرى، أن يظهر على الشاشة ما يقال أو ما ينطق. يعني لو هنقول ان الدكتور هشام هو المتحدث وبيتكلم معانا دلوقتي، كل كلمه هو بيقولها هتظهر على الشاشه باللغه الاصليه. الدكتور هشام بيتكلم عربي فهتظهر على الشاشه عندي عربي. سو اكشولي انا مش بس بقدم ترجمه آنية، انا كمان بقى عندي اداه مساعده هتخليني اطلع ترجمه منظوره، وده هيخلي الجوده تبقى اعلى. فدي واحده من النقاط الايجابيه جدا للذكاء الاصطناعي في النقطه دي. Actually it's a very positive point.
You're right. I always learn from you.
دكتور هشام I think you have a comment.
Yes. نحن في منظمة التعاون الإسلامي عندنا مشكلة أن بعض المتحدثين يتحدثون باللغة الروسية أو اللغة الآذرية أو اللغة المستخدمة في طاجكستان أو حتى اللغة التركية أو الفارسية. المفروض الشيء المفروض هو أن يأتي المتحدث بمترجم يترجم من لغته التي يتحدث بها وهي لغة غير رسمية إلى إحدى اللغات الرسمية، يعني إما أن يترجم إلى العربية أو الإنجليزية أو الفرنسية، ونحن نترجم منه إلى اللغات الأخرى. لكن في بعض الأحيان يأتي المتحدث يتكلم باللغة الروسية ويرسل للمقصورات الترجمة النص مترجم إلى الإنجليزية. مثلا أنا جالس في المقصورة العربية ويأتيني النص باللغة الإنجليزية، لكن أنا في معضلة كبيرة إنه أنا لا أستطيع أن أتابع، أنا لا أعرف المتحدث بأي سرعة يسير لأنه يتكلم لغة أنا لا أفهمها، هو يتكلم باللغة الروسية وأنا أمامي النص الإنجليزي. صحيح أنا ممكن أترجم سايد ترانسليشن، ولكن مشكلة المواءمة بين النسق الذي يسير عليه والنسق الذي أسير عليه أنا.
You can't speak at the same time.
لا، أنا ممكن أتحدث وممكن أترجم لكن أنتهي قبله بس هو يكون في منتصف الكلمة وأنا أكون وصلت نهاية الكلمة، لأني أنا لا أعرف ما يقول، أنا فقط أمامي مكتوب ما يقول، أو قد هو يكون سريع جدا وأنا لا أشعر بذلك، أكون أنا بطيء.
What is it called, doctor?
This I've called this in an article, interpreting in the dark.
Yeah. I read it.
Yeah. Yes. Interpreting in the dark. It requires a specific
in the dark.
skills.
Yeah. Yes. You wrote an article about it.
Yes. So we can make use of things like, for example, if he mentions a name, if for example he says President Putin.
Well,
both words I can find them in the English text, because president in Russian is almost the same. It's pronounced a little bit different, but it's the same. And Putin is the name. If he mentions, for example, a name of a city where the conference is being held, this helps me locate myself in the text. But it doesn't resolve my problem completely. But it helps me to keep pace with the speaker. For example, the speaker might use words. Can you hear me? Yes, the speaker can use words in Russian that have almost the same pronunciation in English. You see, so I can make use of these words to know that I'm following him, or if he's going too fast, or if I'm going too fast. So if you like, you can just make reference to the article. It's Interpreting in the Dark. It's published in LinkedIn, on LinkedIn actually, on Scribd and ResearchGate.
Dr. Muhammad Amer, do we have any comment?
This puts me in a very very nice situations. Actually, I don't prefer to use relay interpreting, because actually you depend on the interpretation of a certain interpreter that you're not sure about his interpretation, if he's interpreting right or not. But actually, if you depended on the on AI or artificial intelligence to do so, I totally agree with Dr. Hisham concerning that problem. Like one solution is to locate words like cities' names, people's names, and other words that can be neutral from one language to another. But I believe he also agrees with me is that we interpreters, we do not prefer to use relay interpreting, because you will be the only one responsible for the mistaken interpretation, because actually you don't know if that interpretation is mistaken or not, or correct or not. So if you're taking the first booth is interpreting from Russian into French, and then you're taking from French into Arabic, for example, you don't know whether that French is right or not, is correct or not, because actually you don't know Russian. So I think this is a problem. In Arabic, باللغة العربية الترجمة التحويلية تسبب مشكلة كبيرة جدا 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 في الترجمة، لأنه في هذه الحالة يعتمد المترجم في الأساس على ترجمة زميله، مش وليست النص الأصلي.
الترجمة الانعكاسية.
بالضبط. فأنا في هذه الحالة لا أعرف الروسية، أنا لا أعرف اللغة الروسية، وبذلك فإننا أعتمد على الترجمة الفرنسية التي قدمها زميلي. ماذا لو كان زميلي ليس في أفضل حالاته؟ ماذا لو أخطأ؟ ماذا لو ارتكب الكثير من الأخطاء؟ من سيلام في النهاية؟ who's going to be blamed? I'm going to be blamed because you know الانتربتر هو يعني يمكن دكتور هشام يتفق معايا في النقطة دي. المترجم هو قد يكون في كثير من الأحيان الحلقة الأضعف. ليس هناك الكثير من الاسوسيشنز اللي تدافع عننا أو الكثير من يعني الحكم، لا توجد الكثير من الحقوق للمترجمين للأسف الشديد، وأظن دكتور هشام عارف النقطة دي كويس.
أتفق معك دكتور عامر، ولكن هنالك اختلاف بين الترجمة عبر الريلي، الترجمة التحويلية كما سميتها، وكم هو جميل هذا الاسم. هنالك اختلاف مما ذكرته أنا في الموضوع، وهو تجربة شخصية مريت بها أنا، هو أنك إما تأخذ من الريلي أو تأخذ من النص الذي هو أمامك. هو يأتيك بنص إنجليزي ويأتيك بنص إنجليزي، فأنت تترجم منه سايد ترانسليشن. لكن المشكلة ليست في أنك تترجم سايد ترانسليشن ترجمة صحيحة أم لا، هذا يعني أمر مفروغ منه. أنت المفروض يتوقع منك أن تقدم ترجمة ممتازة، لكن المشكلة في مواكبة المتحدث. أنت لا تعرف أين المتحدث، بدأت معه، قد يكون انطلق أمامك وقد يكون متأخر، أنت لغة تجهلها تماما، اللغة الروسية أو الفارسية. فأنت في هذه الحالة أمامك النص، وعليك أن تجتهد في أنه تنتهي معه أو قبله بقليل أو بعده بقليل. أعود إلى مسألة الترجمة التحويلية أو الريلي. إذا كان ليس أمامي خيار غير أني أخذ من المقصورة الفرنسية أو المقصورة الإنجليزية، وحتى إن كان زميلي ليس في أحسن حالاته، فأنا لست ملام. أنا ليس أمامي إلا هذا. يعني هو قد يخطئ، نعم، وإذا نقلت أنا خطأه فليس من خطئي. هذا يعني هذا يحتاج طبعا إلى نقاش مع المنظمين وكذا وكذا، لكن في النهاية في العادة مثل هذه الأمور حتى الجمهور يتسامح مع المترجم، لأنه يعرف أن هذا واقع يعني ظالم للمترجم. لا يمكن أن تحكم علي بترجمة قائمة على ترجمة شخص آخر. فهو الموضوع طبعا موضوع شيق وموضوع بحث، ولكن عموما يعني نحن على الأقل في منظمة التعاون الإسلامي لا تحصل مشاكل كثيرة في حالة إنه الترجمة الروليه كانت سيئة، لأنه الناس تعرف أن أنا لست مترجما من اللغة الروسية، إنما أبذل قصارى جهدي لأوصل له بالمعنى.
هي دي النقطة اللي أنا كنت عايز أثيرها، إن هل الجمهور على قدر من الوعي والدراية بهذه المعضلة أم لا؟ لأن هناك بعض الناس يعني لما يكون في مشكلة في الترجمة لن يفهم يعني إيه ريلي انتربريتنج، لأنه غير متخصص. حضرتك شخص مختص وأنا شخص مختص، إحنا الاثنين عندنا تخصص، إحنا فاهمين ده، ولكن الجمهور لا يعرف ذلك. في بعض الأحيان تلاقي الجمهور يقول الترجمة، هناك مشكلة بالترجمة، مش هيقولوا بقى ساعتها ان في مشكله في الريلي او في الكابينه الفرنسيه وليست الكابينه العربيه او الانجليزيه. في هذه الحالات سوف يكون هناك مشكله. انا اتعامل داخل السوق المصريه وسوق اوروبيه، ولكن دعني اقول لحضرتك برضو انه العميل او الشركه نفسها لما تكون فاهمه، عندما يكونوا على قدر من الوعي والدرايه بماهيه الترجمه وماهيه الترجمه الفوريه، ساعتها يقدروا ان هم يدافعوا عن المترجمين. ولكن في حالات اخرى مش فاهمين فلن يستطيعوا الدفاع، طبعا بالعكس ده هم هيتحولوا الى جهاد هجوم يعني، وانت هتدافع عن نفسك للاسف الشديد.
نعم صحيح.
دكتور محمد عامر.
تفضل اخي سعيد.
How do you convey implied meaning when interpreting? For instance, when a speaker says something positive but actually means something negative.
Actually, you mean wordplay? Yeah. Okay. So actually, this is one funny example.
You got it?
Yeah. Exactly. So and
معلش النطق اليوم عشان الصوت.
never mind. I wish you quick recovery.
I'm so sorry. My voice is shot.
Never mind. I wish you quick recovery. So concerning the interpretation of wordplay, it's not always about negative or positive, but actually understanding the word in a certain way. You actually, I have one example. Yes, it looks positive, but actually the meaning was very negative. In 2014 or 2013, before the qualifying for the World Cup in 2014, actually Egypt national team was beaten by Ghana 6-1. So we received 6 goals. Actually, this was a heavy score. So what happened? That match was played in the first day of Ayedh, العيد الكبير. كان أول يوم في العيد الكبير. So actually, in Egypt we have a song that has been sung in Ayedh. It says جانا العيد أهو جانا العيد. It's been sung like this. So actually you can imagine a certain speaker who says غانا العيد أهو غانا العيد, because actually we were beaten by Ghana in the qualifying games. You can imagine how difficult this can be, a word to play. It has a positive meaning, it has a positive shape like it's a song, but it mocks.
I'm so sorry, 1 minute. Dr. Hisham, okay, you can leave. يقول انه يبغى اوكي يقول ثانك يو.
Thanks a lot for being here.
شكرا. Thank you very much for
hanging out with us.
The wealth of information that you have provided, Dr. Amer. Thank you.
It's my pleasure.
I thank you very much for this wonderful evening.
My pleasure.
showing a certain example of wordplay like Ghana and Ghana, Ghana العيد أو Ghana العيد. It's a positive
What's the
form.
difference between them?
Yeah, it was said غين العيد أو غين العيد. You were mocking the Egyptian national team because we were beaten 6-1. So actually,
Ghana,
Ghana العيد أو غين العيد because we were beaten by Ghana. So one example is that you can interpret into the feast is in Ghana. The feast is in Ghana. It means that Ghana as the country that celebrated the feast. It's not Egypt. However, the feast is in Egypt. It's not in Ghana. So this is one solution. But actually, you are in a booth. You are
like جبت العيد in
yeah,
Saudi Islam,
exactly. The same.
which means you screwed up.
Yes, exactly. The same happens. You have a positive meaning, you have a negative meaning, and you can't.
You can say, yeah. They can say, okay, you're mashallah, Muhammad Amer. For instance, only, huh? You're a good man. You're a good man.
Thank you,
But
Lord.
I mean, he isn't. How do you interpret it?
So it's all about the tone you use.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
You can use the same words and
exactly.
intonation.
Exactly, intonation makes different meaning. So actually, if a student came late to the class, and I asked him, "What is the time now?" So if I told him, "What is the time now?"
Yeah,
this is very different
you're
from
right.
The first one. I'm asking for the watch. I'm asking for the time. However, the second one, no, I'm not asking for time. I'm just.
Mashallah, wow, you're highly experienced.
Thanks a lot. I'm just asking for a certain reason.
You're both, mashallah, wow, lecturer and trainer. I learned from you.
Thanks a lot. So you can use your own tone, your own intonation. And by the way, one lesson to boost your intonation. There was a British and English poet that's called it's not Chaucer, it's Christopher Marlowe. If you know him, Christopher Marlowe in the 16th century wrote a sonnet that starts with a certain line. It says, "Come live with me and be my love." So you can imagine a man who loves a woman, and he tells her, "Come live with me and be my love." So actually, you can learn how to master intonation by saying, "Come live with me and be my love." So you're putting stress on certain words that matter.
The same intonation.
Exactly. And instead of saying, "Come live with me and be my love," you're not convincing your beloved girl to live with you. You're just being dull. But if you love her so much and you want her to come to live with you, you may say, "Come live with me and be my love." Intonation is convincing. Intonation makes people understand that you are mastering this profession. Intonation. Even if you are in a bad day, even if you are in a bad mood, even if you're not giving total or complete interpretation, your intonation can make this up for you.
Right. Do you think a doctor intonation in Arabic and English is the same?
No. In Arabic, it can be very tricky. It can be very tricky.
How do you deal with that?
In Arabic, it's not only about the intonation, but also with the facial gestures and the body movements, and even with the hand movements of the speaker. Certain speakers, when they deal with the audience, like stand up or sit down, like using their hand movement and facial gestures, you can guess the meaning out of that intonation. Intonation can't be clear. They can say just ممكن تقعد, ممكن تقف. So actually, if they say ممكن تقف, but actually they raised their hand
without any intonation.
Without any intonation, you can guess what's being said. But I think
the implied meaning is the same.
It's the same, but in Arabic it can be heavier, because actually in Arabic, actually we can use our hands, our facial gestures even more than foreigners. We are totally moving our bodies more than them. If you dealt with British speakers, with American speakers, they are dull. But Arab speakers, oh my God, When I speak to you, when I speak to Dr. Isham, you can watch me. I can watch you moving your heads, moving your hands, moving your bodies, even if you're sitting, even if you didn't change your setting.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, actually, Arab people can do this.
Let me ask you a question.
Sure.
What is the move? What is the move if the speaker says something offensive?
Yeah, okay. This is a very tricky question. It's not only about offensive, but it's always about using swear words, words that are somehow inappropriate. It happens a lot. And I do remember Donald Trump's second debate in the first elections with Hillary Clinton. And the man kept using a lot of words that are not inappropriate, are not appropriate at all. However, if you're dealing with a community or society like us, it's a conservative society, it's a conservative community. You can just give F word in Arabic. You can just say the S word in Arabic. You can do so. However, you can give the closest insult, but that does not harm the society. I can't just turn the F word into Arabic. I can't do so. I know the Arabic word and I know the Arabic equivalent. But if I said it, I don't conserve the principles, the protocols, or the ethics of the society. So if that insult is intentional, you have to do it as is. You have to say it as is. One example, I have been interpreting for the IOM, the International Organization for Migration. And they receive a lot of requests from refugees and asylum seekers who travel from their own troubled countries. I'm not mentioning any countries, but in certain countries, people are being tortured, they are being insulted, and so on. And one refugee said, I was insulted. The officer told me so and so and so, and he said that very bad word in Arabic. I can't even pronounce. But however, in IOM, in interpreting in such occasions, that man is applying for traveling abroad, and he is just showing how oppressed he is. So I said the same word in English, the same abusive, the same bad word in English, because it was intentional. But if one word is just given in a certain occasion or a certain situation without intention, I will never do it. I will never say the same word. And it's all about your society, how your society accepts that word. And for example, William Shakespeare. A lot of people they don't know the man was bisexual, but the man wrote a certain sonnet that says, "Shall I compare thee to a summer's day?" And that
It's
song
different
was,
from our culture.
yeah, exactly. It's written from a man to another man. It's not given to a woman. It's not given to a lady. And we have two translations in Arabic. One is given by Professor Muhammad Anani, Rabbana yarhamu, and the man said,
He's famous.
yeah, exactly. The man said, ألا بالصيف أشبهك ألا بالصيف أشبهك حبيبي. So a man loves a man, so it doesn't matter. However, another interpretation that's somehow conservative, it says, ألا بالربيع أشبهك مولاتي. From a man to a woman. So did it change the meaning? It didn't change the meaning. It changed only the gender. Only the gender. But did it change? Did it impact the meaning? Did it affect the meaning? I don't think so.
Yeah. How do you deal with a situation like that?
So actually, if you have an immediate alternative, just go for it. But actually, you need to explain. This is the only occasion you have to explain the whole joke. The whole joke needs to be explained. For those who don't understand, for those who
You can say, please laugh. Like I think one of the interpreters.
Of course, Adil Imam.
I think he's very smart.
Yeah, Adil Imam, the Egyptian actor. Actually, he was like 10 years ago in a festival in Carthage in Morocco. Actually, there was an interpreter from Arabic into English.
Go ahead. I'm so sorry, doctor.
Never mind, never mind. So, of course, Adil Imam, the Egyptian actor. He was hosted by Carthage Festival in Morocco, and actually, he was giving a lot of jokes in Arabic, and we have an interpreter who was going to interpret this from Arabic into English, and you can see the Arabic speaking audience. They are laughing to their guts. And when it's turn for the interpreter to interpret this, he just said, Adil Imam is just giving a joke. He didn't translate the joke itself. He's just saying a joke. And you can imagine the foreign audience just laughed and they clapped.
You're right.
Because actually, whatever he does, he will never be so.
Because
funny
of the culture.
Yes, exactly. We have a lot of differences from the two cultures.
I'm so sorry, doctor. Go ahead.
So if we don't have any comments in here, we can just conclude with a short
Yeah.
word.
Okay.
Yeah,
I have a final question.
sure.
Accent can be really challenging to understand.
Yeah,
If you can't make it out, the speaker's accent,
yeah.
what should you do?
Well, actually, in that situation, if I'm a consecutive interpreter, I will ask for a second or a third repetition of what is being said. But in that case, I will just give a synopsis of what is being said. This is one of the few occasions that we are allowed to do so. I don't understand the accent. I don't understand dialect. I just give synopsis of the most important information that I managed to understand. Only important information, not every single word. I'm talking about numbers, names, titles, information that cannot be guessed. But if we are in a booth or a simultaneous interpreting booth, actually we are not allowed to ask for repetition or something like that. So synopsis and short version of interpretation, that would be very nice, and a lot of people will understand. They will understand by end of the day.
Yes. Do you have any question, Shabab? Do you have any question? Okay. Before we leave. طيب في نهاية اللقاء أشكركم جميعا. I would like to thank Dr. Muhammad. Thank you for joining us. Thank you. Thank you very much. I can't. Thank you.
Such a pleasure. Thanks a lot for everything. Thanks a lot for having me over, for having me abroad. So it was such an honor, and I hope we do this more and more and more.
Inshallah, in the future, inshallah.
Inshallah.
inshallah. دكتور محمد اعذرنا إذا طلنا عليك.
العفو أخي الغالي، العفو. أهم حاجة الناس تكون استفادت واستمتعت، وهذا هو غرضنا في الأساس.
بارك الله فيك وألف شكر.
أشكر حضرتك شكرا جزيلا، وكل الشكر للسادة الحضور والسادة المستمعين والمشاهدين. حياكم الله.
نشكرك ونشكر كذلك اللي تداخل معنا جميعا، ونشكر الدكتور هشام وألف شكر، ونراك على خير. See you later.
See you later. Bye bye.
Bye bye.